we all really loved Mr. Space. And we want answers.
At an emotional Crandon School Board meeting last month, Senior McKenna Jensen and other students, parents, and staff demanded to know why Andy Space was no longer their principal.
This is just wrong.
Space left January 26th with no advance warning and little explanation.
That was it. We came to school the next day and we had nobody in the big chair.
We now know the district's reasons for letting Space go. A document dated January 20th and given to me by District Administrator Dr. Doug Kreider lays out 4 pages of examples, including claiming Space made statements that the largely female staff limit school performance. It claimed that Space made demeaning references to female staff, failed to properly handle a situation with weapons on campus, and had poor parent communication. Specifically, the letter claims Space, quote, made statements around not being able to improve learning because there are 80% females for staff, and referred to a female staff member as jugs. Then, at the October 13th homecoming football game, 4 boys threatened a 6th grader with knives. We spoke to that 6th grader, Caden Otter, the next week.
He pushed me on the ground and took out a knife, and then he pointed at me and he said he's gonna kill me.
The letter claims Space didn't properly search the boys before they left, let them come to school the following Monday, and didn't call Otter or his mother, Melinda, until Tuesday.
I kind of just waited for them to contact me, but they never contacted me.
Space didn't write up the incident until more than a month later.
All those in favor say aye.
On January 15th, the school board voted 4-1 to tell Space it didn't want him back next year. He left the school 11 days later and signed a resignation agreement on February 2nd. But in a statement he gave me on Monday, Space said many of the allegations in this letter are inaccurate, are not true. Continuing, my only recourse may be a lawsuit against the district and Mr. Kreider, which I'm strongly considering. Space said the district didn't give him the letter detailing the claims against him until well after he signed the resignation agreement. Had I been furnished a copy of the letter prior to my decision to voluntarily resign, I would have never entered into the separation agreement, Space said in the statement. Both Space and Kreider turned down on-camera interview requests for this story. But on February 12th, Kreider said this after the board officially accepted Space's resignation agreement.
We do have standards, and we just try and do right by everyone that we can in all the situations.
In his statement announcing the possible lawsuit, Space said, quote, I will not allow the district to disparage my reputation with false allegations. We're covering the news in Crandon. Ben Meyer, Newswatch 12.
That would be it right there.
It started with a simple Facebook post on Monday morning.
I didn't necessarily expect, 60 to 100 people.
36 hours later, 60-plus people showed up at Crandon parent Tim Reeder's informal meeting. They're frustrated with the school district and its administrator, Dr. Doug Kreider, who's in his 3rd year.
I do believe that he is outlasted his usefulness, yes.
We have 2 new principals that have
Citizens United for Education believes Kreider bent the truth in his claims about former principal Andy Space's behavior. Space, a principal beloved by many students, signed a resignation agreement on February 2nd. He said Kreider presented claims against him only after he signed the agreement. This week, Space threatened a lawsuit and said, had I been furnished a copy of the letter prior to my decision to voluntarily resign, I would have never entered into the separation agreement. How the district handled Space's situation helped start the group's backlash against Kreider.
Kind of kicked it in gear, correct.
For example, Kreider accused Space of referring to a female staff member as jugs. But this week, Space showed me a statement from that staff member refuting the claim. Kreider's letter also claimed Space mishandled a situation in October when 4 boys threatened a 6th grader with knives at a football game. But at the time, Kreider said this.
There was a search, seizure, and police involvement within minutes, and all protocol was followed at the time.
The group also blames Kreider for dozens of students leaving the district and for Kreider's attitude of dominance over the school board. Citizens United for Education plans to have a large presence at Monday's school board meeting.
Bunch of malarkey.
The best short-term result, Reeder says, would be the removal of Kreider and the board.
Our leadership and our administration is lacking.
We're covering the news in Crandon. Ben Meyer, Newswatch 12.